Today we're gonna list both of these mountain bikes on Facebook Marketplace, and when the buyer comes to pick them up, we're not gonna let them pay, but it's not gonna be just any buyer. Let's take these into the shop, fix them up, and I'll tell you the plan. Out of the two, this first bike is the cheapest, the Kent Truvail. We actually got it from Walmart for $400 because it looked like a pretty good bike for the price, and since then we put all sorts of parts on it. It's got hydraulic disc brakes, it has an adjustable air fork, it has a derailleur with a clutch. We even put a new front tire on it and corrected other issues with the assembly. And although this bike was barely rideable when we took it home from Walmart, it has become a pretty good bike. You can ride just about anything on it. We want it to go to a good home and we want it to get used. So we're gonna list it at a really good price so we can court lots of buyers, and through talking to them, I can figure out who kind of deserves the bike. So the buyer is gonna pay $0 plus tax for this bike, but what are we gonna price it at? Well, I'm almost $900 into this thing. That does include the $400 cost of the bike. It's a Kent Truvail. The name doesn't really carry the most prestige, and if you look at the chainstay, there are all these marks on it. I did use an angle grinder to remove the kickstand, and overall I made some modifications to this bike that were not so kosher. However, it is a really good bike. It can take you just about anywhere, and it would be a really good first bike for somebody looking to get into the sport. But I want a lot of inquiries on it, and so I'm gonna price the Kent Truvail at $400 firm, which is what it costs brand new without any of the upgrades. This is an absolute steal, and so we're gonna get lots of inquiries, and then I can talk to everybody and figure out who the right buyer is. We've got our Kent Truvail pretty much ready to post. They let you upload videos now, and so I did. Check it out. We have here a 29-inch hardtail mountain bike ready for just about anything. Now, I'm not gonna lie, it's a Kent Truvail. You can get this at Walmart for $400 brand new, but that one is not gonna have hydraulic disc brakes. It's definitely not gonna have a derailleur with a clutch on it, and it is most certainly not going to have a Suntour XER 32. This is a really good, capable bike that you can ride in DuPont or in Pisgah. Why am I pricing it as such? Well, it's the bike-pocalypse. You can get a lot of good bikes for cheap, but if you know what you're looking at here, you can have a sweet ride. It's the next day and I just woke up to a lot of action on the Kent Truvail. I've been exchanging messages with people to try and find the right person. One guy said, hey, that thing is $200 on Walmart.com. He's right, but it's sold out. I think that was the clearance price. Doesn't look like they have Kent Truvails anymore. Kent makes a couple of other bikes with some better parts on them, and they're up close to $600. Inflation is tough. But I think we found a buyer for the Kent Truvail, and so I'm gonna pack it up, meet up with him, and see if he's for real. Oh, that was like a 2-foot drop. All right, we're here at the meetup spot. He should be pulling up any second now. Good to meet you, Cody.
Nice to meet you.
And thanks for agreeing to be on camera.
Yes, sir.
So what made you start looking for a mountain bike?
Well, I've been kind of interested in it for a long time, but never really had the money to get into it. And I started working and everything else, and I wanted to buy new, but I realized if I wanted to keep below 600, I was gonna get a hardtail for that, but I'd probably get better quality used.
Why don't we make sure the bike fits you? Cody had seen my videos and happened to be looking for a used hardtail when I had posted the Truvail, and I could already tell he was more than capable of maintaining the bike himself.
I love the tires and stuff on it. Are those tubeless?
Yeah, there's a little sealant coming out of there because I had freshened it up. They're not officially tubeless rims, but you can kind of make anything tubeless by just adding a little bit of rim tape. So you will have to inject just with a syringe or something, inject sealant. You get to buy all sorts of tools, suspension pump and everything like that.
Cool. I love how light it is.
They come with these coil forks that are just completely full of metal. That one's an air fork and just way lighter.
I'm used to the Walmart specials.
This is kind of a Walmart special too, but it's definitely got a lot of good parts on it. Not your granddaddy's Walmart bike,
no,
right?
Not at all. Or road
Cool.
bike. I tried that one time too, taking a road bike in the woods.
This is gonna feel amazing then. So we got a deal?
I think we do.
Well, what if I told you the deal is free?
I'm not gonna take it for free. I can't do it.
I'll drive away right now.
I can't do it.
Look, there's nothing wrong with getting something for free, but some people feel entitled to get something for free. Cody's the opposite. He wants to earn things. And so I actually had to negotiate with him and haggle with him to get him to take the bike for free.
Let me pay you something.
That's why you're the deserving person.
I hate it, but thank you very much.
The fact that you hate it means that you're the right person for it.
I work full time, and then at night times, me and him, we have a small engine business. So I was always taught not to take stuff for free, and it feels wrong, but
Cody might have been the ideal recipient for that bike. He wanted to get into mountain biking and he wanted to pay for it. He wanted to work for it. I think it might have actually bummed him out. He might have gotten more joy from paying for the bike, and that's why he is the ideal recipient. We still have another bike to sell, the Ozark Trail Ridge. We're well north of $1,000 in terms of how much I've actually put into the bike. And although we use this thing proper, there are really not many blemishes on the bike at all. But when it comes to entry-level hardtails, there's just an upper limit on Facebook Marketplace, and we're not really concerned with how much money we make because we're gonna sell it for free. So I am going to list this bike at $550, and if I don't get enough interest, I'm gonna drop it to $500. I know that's an absolutely criminal price to pay for this bike. Every time I get on the thing, I can't believe how well it performs, but it's gotta go. I don't wanna sell the Ozark Trail Ridge. I really like the way the build came together and just have a lot of good memories on it. But I gotta make way because I've got too many bikes and we wanna do more projects. So just like the Kent Travail, I uploaded a video, check it out. We have here a hardtail mountain bike with 29-inch wheels. Yes, it's an Ozark Trail Ridge. You can get this at Walmart for $400, but that one's not gonna have hydraulic disc brakes. It's not gonna have a Dior XT derailleur with 12-speed, and it's certainly not gonna have a RockShox Recon, which is usually included on bikes well north of $1,000. The tires have been upgraded. It has 2 water bottle cages. It even has a dropper seat post. So why am I selling this for $550? Well, it's the bike apocalypse. You can get a brand new Cannondale for $700 something. Not going to come with a RockShox Recon. Certainly not going to come with a dropper post. But hey, it says Ozark Trail on it. And so if you know you're looking at a good bike, you can get yourself a Steel, a good beginner mountain bike that you can pretty much take everywhere, even hit jumps with it. This morning I went on a big gravel ride, well, big for me anyway, and when I got back there were all sorts of messages about the Ozark Trail Ridge, way more than the Kent Travail, probably because it's a better deal. The Ozark Trail looks really good. It's color coordinated, it's got a dropper post, it's even got 2 bottle cages, but people are kind of weirded out when I start asking them, well, what are you gonna use it for? Who's getting it? Some people know it's me and they get it. But a mom messaged me and she said it's for her 13-year-old son who saved up himself to buy it. And so it's possible that this is goodbye. So let's look back at all the good times we had on the Ozark Trail Ridge Pro Max Ultra Studio. I'm meeting him at a park this time just for the noise, but he still has no idea that he's not gonna pay for the bike. This is a kid that apparently worked for all this money. I'm gonna find out how, and saved up enough to buy a decent bike. But now he's gonna be able to get a helmet and put a little away for some repairs, maybe even get some tools. So you're the one that saved up for it. What's your name?
Lane?
Lane? Good to meet you. So you're gonna buy my bike off of me?
Yeah.
Possibly. Well, make sure you like it. It's raining, but make sure you fit on it and everything. Let's, why don't we go up there?
It's soft.
Yeah, it just really does the job, and it's got a damper. As we moved from a downpour to the underside of a tin roof, capturing decent audio became an impossible task. But as it turns out, Lane had watched us build this bike on YouTube. And since then, he had been saving up for his own bike through the lost art of weeding and mowing lawns. How did you save up the money?
I cut grass and weeded and stuff.
And with $550 cash in his pocket, Lane was ready to buy this bike fair and square. But as you know, the bike was never really up for sale in the first place. You don't owe me a dime for the bike.
That's what he had. That was his budget. And my brother's like, well, that's kind of a hard budget.
I mean, he's kind of right.
He's seen it and recognized your video. But we were in Tennessee, and we're like, well, it'll probably be gone before we ever get a chance to get home.
Great to meet you. According to his father, Lane had been maintaining his previous bike, partially by learning from these videos. And with that kind of can-do attitude and resourcefulness, we know he'll have no problem keeping the Ozark Trail Ridge Pro Max Studio Ultra running for years to come.
Well, thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you guys. It was our selection process that yielded individuals like Cody and Lane. Individuals who would have otherwise been happy to pay for their bikes. Cody was actually reluctant to take anything for free.
I can't do it.
I'll drive away right now.
I can't do it.
But that was the point. I reviewed, built, and tested both of these bikes together with this audience. And so it's only right that we found them the best homes possible. And when either of these buyers is ready to move on to a new bike, I hope they sell their bike, not give it away, sell their bike for the exact reasons I just stated. I hope you found this enriching, I hope you learned something, and if you didn't, I hope you were at least entertained. Thanks for riding with me today, and I'll see you next time.